welcome or welcome back to my channel Hissy Books. I'm Camilla and today I'm very excited to be bringing you my Victober Tbr. I'm actually so excited for this time of year, and for the occasion I wore a nice little themed shirt. I'm very excited for Victober. If you don't know what it is, Victober is short for Victorian October. It's a month during which you kind of encourage to read Victorian literature. Over the last few years, well, kind of being more on booktube, actually, I've discovered Victorian literature. I feel this was quite greatly lacking from my education when I did my degrees in English literature. So I'm making up for lost time, is what I'm saying. Victober is hosted by 5 lovely ladies. So they are Katie from Books and Things, Kate Howe, Petra, Marissa from Blatantly Bookish, and Roz from Scally Dandling About the Books. So thank you ladies for hosting and for all your wonderful recommendations. So I'll link their profiles below and you'll be able to go and see their videos. So for each prompt that they've set, they've made a video and given you loads of recommendations, which is great. Not only to kind of confirm some of the books I want to read and that fit their prompts, but also to discover new things. So let's jump right in with Katie's challenge. Katie's challenge is to read a Victorian Bildungsroman, which is a coming of age story, and there's loads obviously, who go from childhood into adulthood, kind of follow them as they grow up. One of the books that she mentioned was Charles Dickens's Great Expectations. She also mentioned Oliver Twist, but Great Expectations went on my Classics TBR for 2022, so I will take my opportunity. I've been waiting all year to read it for Victober, and I'm really glad it's fitting one of the prompts. This is obviously, it has 4 books in it, so it has Oliver Twist, Christmas Carol, A Tale of Two Cities, and Great Expectations. I think I'll be doing a mix of reading from this humongous books, not like I'm going to bring it, on a train to work, but also listening to the audiobook. And I'm very excited. I've read A Christmas Carol before, but I think Great Expectations will be my first kind of real Dickens novel, so I'm very excited. She also mentioned Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is another book that I thought maybe I could read this month, especially because I recently acquired it, so I'm kind of very excited. It's quite a large book as well, so maybe I'm overdoing it, but it fits the prompt, so why not give it a try? Finally, I think I'll be adding Villette by Charlotte Bronte to this list as well for this prompt. This is one of the Bronte books I really want to read this year / this month, and I think it kind of fits the prompt. We follow the main character from kind of childhood into adulthood, so why not? So those are the 3 books. Then the second prompt is Kate's challenge, which is to read a Victorian work with chronic illness or disability representation. I think this is a great challenge because I participated into the disability readathon earlier this year, and it kind of made me realize that I don't actually read many books by authors with disability or chronic illness, or with a character that has a disability or chronic illness. So I think it's going to be a great way to kind of see this representation in an era literature. One of Kate's recommendations was Cranford by Elizabeth Gaskell, and I love Gaskell's writing. She's written one of my favorite novels from Victorian era, which was North and South, so I'm excited to see that. And it doesn't look like a huge book either, so I thought I'll add it in there, why not? But she also mentioned that Great Expectations and Wives and Daughters technically have representation as well, so it's great that I'm fitting more than one prompt. Next we have Marissa's challenge, which is to read a Victorian short story. So I found a couple. I've added it to my list because I found them. They're short. I'm sure I'll be able to read them. The first one is The Lifted Veil by George Eliot. Then there's Christmas Storm and Sunshine by Elizabeth Gaskell. Marissa did say that maybe it's best to keep for Christmas, but I thought, maybe I'll just hazard a read. I'll see how it feels like if the mood is right. And maybe if I'm looking for something maybe a bit more ghostly toward Halloween, I'll try The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell as well. Next we have Petra's challenge, which is to read a Victorian book and watch a screen adaptation of it. I love that. I love movies. I love watching adaptations. I'm all in for this. What I really want to rewatch is Jane Eyre and North and South. But do I have time to read those books? I definitely do not. Not with what I already have. I'm also really interested in watching the new adaptation of David Copperfield with Dev Patel. But will I be able to read 2 Dickens in 1 month? 100% not. So, we'll see. What I might rewatch is The Count of Monte Cristo, as I'm in the midst of reading it. I mean, I'm almost halfway through the first book. It has 2 books. It's I think it's 16 or 1700 pages, but anyway, technically this is Victorian because it's of the era, but it's French, so it's technically not. But you know, it's still sort of in the theme and in the period. So I thought, why not? My husband's never seen the movie, so maybe we'll just watch it as I'm doing this buddy read with Rosie Cockshot. I saw that there were also adaptations for both Great Expectations and Wives and Daughters. So maybe if I read them, I'll be able to check up on the adaptations and try to watch them as well. So I'll have a beautiful month of movies, it seems, ahead of me, as well as books. And finally, we have Ross's challenge, which is to read work of Victorian poetry, long or short. So I think that's great because I don't think I've read much Victorian poetry, if I have read any. So I have found, according to like some of her recommendation, I found the poetry of Christina Rossetti and also Elizabeth Barrett Browning. So we'll try that. Ross also recommended reading something by an author we enjoy. And obviously I've looked up Charlotte Bronte and I found poems by Charlotte Bronte. So might try that as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for reading poetry from Victorian era because I feel like it'll be really different from the poetry that I read more now, which is more kind of contemporary and diverse voices. So I think it'll be really kind of cool to try something new. And generally, I'm actually really excited about all these prompts and all these books and poems and novellas that I've just mentioned. I think it's going to be great to kind of focus my reading and kind of mood into this Victorian period, you know, for Victober. So I'm very excited. Are you excited about Victober? What is the books that you have on your TBR? If you've done a TBR, let me know in the comments below and I'll go and check it out as well, because I would love to see what everyone's up to and if you're going to be doing vlogs and stuff like that. Like, I'm very excited for the month ahead and to be joining the community on BookTube. As always, thank you so much for watching and hey, see you there. Bye!